So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have another phenomenal show lined up for you tonight. The one and only Dr. Paul Inselman is on, and I am really excited to interview him because this man comes with a deep wealth of knowledge. And it's not just about knowledge, it's about experience and success. And that is what this show is all about. The Mind Body Business Show is a show that I had developed with you in mind, the small business person, the entrepreneur, the person looking to get to that next level in their journey when it comes to business, and even a lot of times in personal life as well, because they're very, very tied together. And it's what I like to refer to as the three pillars of success. And those are the very words of this, the name of the title of this show. And that is mind. It's all about mindset. And what happened is about 10 years ago or so, a little more than that, I started studying only successful people. And I noticed these three characteristics kept bubbling up to the top. And one of them was mindset. And that was specifically to each person that I was studying that was successful. They had a very powerful and most importantly, positive and flexible mindset, flexible being the key. And then body. To a person, each of these very successful individuals took care of themselves physically and nutritionally. And then business was multifaceted. These individuals had mastered the skill sets that are required to build and scale a very successful business. And what kind of skill sets? Skill sets like sales, marketing, team building, systematizing, leadership. I could go on for some time. And the thing is, to master any one thing, as you know, as an astute viewer and listener, that can take a long time. And so the good news is you don't have to master every necessary skill set. In fact, you don't even have to master all the ones I just mentioned. If you master just one of those, you can leverage all of the others. And that one skill set, if you were to concentrate on one of them, it would be the skill set of leadership. And once you've mastered that, even if you have no other employees or VAs or anyone on your team in your business, you can lead yourself and get really good at it. And then when you're ready for the first and then second and then 10th employee or VA, you will have a big head start. Once you've done that, you can then bring in those who have already mastered the skill sets that you have yet to or may never master yourself. And now you have a team, a rock solid team, because of your leadership skills. And that's what this show embodies, is the authentic and very high integrity ways of taking the shortcut to success. And a lot of people, think of shortcut as, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's like cheating. It's like, no, it's working smart. And yeah, it's not working smarter, not harder. It's working smarter and harder. I always like to correct that one. And yeah, so with that, I love what I get to do, interviewing these amazing people. And another amazing trait of very highly successful people is that to a person, I've also found out that they are very avid readers of books. And with that, I like to segue very quickly. I'm not kidding. Paul is coming on just in a minute. I like to segue very quickly to a little segment I affectionately call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by ReachYourPeakLibrary.com.
Yes, and ReachYourPeakLibrary.com. A real quick word of soapbox moment, if you will. Something I learned while speaking from the stage is that, as we're speaking, we're coming up to the good stuff. There are so many incredible points of high value during any type of seminar presentation. Even tonight here on this show, you're going to get a lot of great information. And I've seen and noticed while on stage where I know there's a part that's coming up that is life-changing, and someone would stand up and leave the room. They either had to go to the bathroom or they had their phone in front of them because they had that all-important message. I don't want that to happen to you. And so what I like to do is implore upon you that when you see resources like this, like reachyourpeaklibrary.com, rather than go click away and take your attention away, especially when Paul is on, rather than do that, just write it down. The old-fashioned, get out the pen and paper and write it down, or type it in on your computer off to a notepad on the side, and stay with us, stay with Paul, because I would hate for you to miss that one golden nugget that could change your life forever. And I'm very serious about this. So I hope you do take my advice on this. I'm running the whole show. I personally take notes as well. I kid you not. I'll show them to you at the end if you like. And that is that. All right. That's my soapbox moment. reachyourpeaklibrary.com. That is a website I literally built with you in mind, because I myself did not become an avid reader till about the age of 47, which now is 11 years ago. Everyone's doing the math. And I found what a profound change it made in my life to read books, and not just any kind of books, but books that made a difference, both, could be in my professional life or in my personal life, or even both. And so what you'll see here is a good array of books that you can come to. These are books I have personally read, so I vet these books. Not every book I've ever read is on this list. And I didn't read books, I didn't realize it for a long time, because I didn't like using my eyeballs and scanning pages. I guess it fatigued me. I don't know why. But then I learned about this thing called Audible. Oh boy, look out. And now I read books on Audible all the time. And that is how this list got compiled. And there are many more that should be on this list. There's no rhyme or reason to the order on which they are in here. Just scroll, find the one that jumps off the page, read the description. If you like it, buy it. You don't have to buy it from this website. This is not for me to make money. This is for me to give you great resources, however you decide to go and get them. I just want you to be aware of them. Sound cool? That is reachyourpeaklibrary.com. And I know that there's another individual that shares my desire for helping people, and that is Dr. Paul Inselman, who is coming on right now. So let's bring him on and let's have a great time. Here we go.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, it is the only Dr. Paul Inselman.
Brian, thank you.
Welcome to the show, my friend. Hey, we're going to get into this real quick, but I just need to do a little bit of housekeeping real quick, if you don't mind. Mr. Inselman, Dr. Inselman, don't call me doctor, call me Paul. I am on it. You got it. So real quick, everyone sees the Big Insider Secrets. It's up there, way over Paul's left shoulder on the right side of the screen for those of you watching. And it is called the Big Insider Secrets, that red and white stamp. By the way, if you're not watching this live and you're listening to it on podcast, or you're watching a recorded video, you can get updated announcements. I mean, the moment we go live, we will send you a link automatically, and we don't sell anything. All you need to do is go to themindbodybusinessshow.com. I know it's a lot. Themindbodybusinessshow.com. Write that down and opt in. There's plenty of buttons for you to click that'll drive you to the opt-in form. You'll get a free gift just for opting in, and we'd love to have you here live with us, commenting and engaging. But the Big Insider Secrets, this is the exciting part. Everyone who attends and watches this live until the end, you'll get a way to qualify for a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort, and they are from all over the world. All compliments of the Big Insider Secrets. I mean, it's amazing. Thousands of dollars worth of value, and you can win it for just attending. And guess what? The value you're going to get, that pales in comparison to what you're going to learn from Paul tonight. I am not kidding. This is going to be one phenomenal show. And a little birdie told me, well, maybe not so little, but he told me that there's another gift coming your way as well. So you don't want to miss this. Stay on to the end. And then now a couple quick more things to take care of here, and we'll get back to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Here we go. If you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming, and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality show, which is very important, and connect with great people like Paul Inselman, and grow your business all at the same time, then head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing. Saturate the marketplace with your message. And one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing system is one that you'll learn how to absolutely master. It is the very service we stream our live shows right here and right now on the Mind Body Business Show. And over the course of now 10 years, I've tried so many of these quote unquote TV studio type live streaming solutions. And StreamYard, I have to tell you, is the best of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. Write this URL down just like you did with carpetbombmarketing.com. This URL is ryp.im/streamlive. ryp.im/streamlive. So now you can start streaming super high quality, professional looking live shows, and you can start free. So go ahead and write that down and visit that after the show is complete, because we're bringing back the man, the myth, the legend right now. Dr. Paul Inselman is in the house, and it is time to give him the introduction he so richly deserves. His passion, I love this, is helping others right off the bat. I could stop right there. I think that just epitomizes Paul, but I'm not going to stop there. His passion is helping others achieve financial independence with a program that has worked for everyone who has followed it. This is going to be key for you to learn about following things. I have been helping people he has been helping people just like you grow their life and business for the past 19 years. Yes, he's got some chops. He's got some experience, a lot. In addition, for the past 5 years, he's been helping people just like you become a successful business coach, typically earning, listen to this, $250,000 in their first year. How many of you would like that? Well, I have some good news for you. We're going to dive deep into that very topic tonight on this show, and I'm going to give you a way to find out how you can connect with this man right away. I mean, right away. I cannot wait. And he says he is serious about his clients and his coaches' success. And I could tell just by talking to you, Paul, before we started, you have an inherent authenticity, integrity. I could go on. You have this, you know what it takes to become successful. You know how to do it with integrity, and you're not shy to let people know. And you come off to me as a coach that would tell people the truth that will get them to the end result faster than rather than someone who would sugarcoat things. Would that be a proper explanation of how you operate?
Oh, yeah. Straight up. Everything's transparent. Good, bad, or indifferent. You'll know where you stand with me at all times.
I think that's a great attribute, because too often, I mean, I've had great mentors, and they were great because they told the truth, even when it hurt. And it only stung for a minute, because it's kind of like being a parent, and when it's time to discipline a child, like back in the day when we used to still spank kids, that hurt the parent just as much as it did the child, because we don't want to do it. But what it did was it was from love to help correct a behavior that wasn't serving them. And that is all we're talking about here. No one's spanking anybody here, but I think you get the gist. So, Paul, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like for people to get to know you, your backstory, and what brought you here? What was your journey like? Tell us your story.
My journey's been fun. I've been blessed many, many, many times over, and I'm very thankful, very grateful for that. I'm a chiropractor by license, and I had 2 practices up in New York, and they were not typical chiropractic practices. I ran what's called an enzyme nutrition practice. Enzyme nutrition is restoring what we call homeostasis, which means balance at the cellular level. And Brian, I treated who I lovingly referred to as the medical rejects of the world, and that's not a joke. These were people that went through the medical model, were told, we're sorry, go home, get your affairs in order, you're going to die. And they flew out to me, this crazy chiropractor on Long Island, and not only did they survive, but they thrived. And I got to enjoy a very, very nice reputation, and I built one of the largest enzyme practices in the country. When I turned 41, as you can see from the gray on my chinny chin, I ain't 41 anymore. When I turned 41, I decided to retire. I moved down here to Florida to grow my family. And one of my patients was a Tony Robbins master trainer, and he got wind that I was leaving. And he said, Paul, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to play golf and I'm going to go swimming and I'm going to grow my kids. He said, I know, but what are you going to do? I said, which part of that did you not get? So he laughed and he said, are you going to retire? I said, yeah. He said, can I ask how old you are? I said, yeah, 41. He said, dude, you can't retire. You will put a gun to your head. You are way too young. You are way too type A. You are way too driven. Why don't you come coach for us? And I said, coach for you? What the hell do I know about coaching? He said, well, Paul, coaching is nothing more than motivating people to do the things they don't want to do for their best interest. He said, there's not a chiropractor on the planet that charges $2,000 for an examination, no insurance accepted. Remember, this was 20 years ago. He said, if you can communicate that kind of value, we can absolutely teach you how to coach. I was like, I don't think so. So they pursued me for about 8 months. And finally, they made me a Godfather-like offer that I could not and I did not refuse. And I ended up working for them for 3.5 years. Great experience. Oh, my goodness, did I learn a ton. But I am an entrepreneur, and I don't need to make anybody else money. So I left. I left on great terms, and I created my own gig called Creative Coaching and 911 Profit. And here we sit 20 years later with a pretty cool track record. Last year we did over $250,000 in pro bono work. I say 54 businesses from bankruptcy, 23 people became a millionaire, and we had 1 suicide save. All things I'm very, very proud of. So what I do in a nutshell is I literally change and save people's lives. And it's been a hell of a ride. I seriously have to pinch myself every day because I can't believe what it is that I've created. At this point, we have 75 coaches on our team. We're looking to expand that team. And, there are a lot of people that are hurting out there. And, we'll talk more as we go. But that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, saving someone from suicide, that's probably got to be one of the biggest accomplishments you could go to. That's phenomenal.
Scared the shit out of me. But thank God we were able to intercede.
Oh man, yes. That's phenomenal. I like to dig in the beginning, especially because in my mind, our mind is the foundation to our either success or lack thereof. It is what is going on in between our ears that is responsible for where we are now. It's no one else's fault, and it's not any circumstance external to us. It's 100% we own it. And so for you, you've become very successful over the years. You've helped a lot of other people become successful. And this is what I love to find out about people like you, Paul. And that is when you get up in the morning and being an entrepreneur, you just said about all the great things that are going on right now in your business. But I'll guarantee to everyone out there, it's not all like that every day. And there are arduous tasks that occur. There are things that happen. There are appointments that get missed because of life events. There's all kinds of stuff. Knowing the difficulties, because you've been doing this a long time, knowing the difficulties that you face every time you wake up, the challenges that you face, what is going on in your big, beautiful brain when you wake up that keeps you driven and going and wanting to continue to serve more people and change their lives each and every day of your life?
That's a great question. And, it really starts with mindset. When you put up the video library that you had, I ran and I grabbed the book off of my shelf, which I'll share with the audience. This book changed my life. Now, understand something. Look at the thickness of this book. Yeah. Who in their right mind would read 614 pages? And let me tell you something. It's pretty small type. And let me tell you something else. It's not an easy read. You can see all the markings in there. I've read this book many times. I got this book, and it literally changed my life. And my goal in getting the book was that I was going to read a page a day, because I'm not a fast reader. So in reading a page a day, I would have the book read in 2 years, and that was my goal. And I read it in a shorter period of time, not much shorter. But to answer your question directly, I have a morning routine. And you're going to find that most successful people have some sort of routine. You see, if there's a loop playing in your head, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. This is going to be a crappy day. I hope this works. Oh, I pray to God this works. That's not a good setting to begin your day. So I feed myself with positivity. Napoleon Hill talks about having a definite aim. When you have a definite aim, it becomes really easy to get there. And the example I always like to give is this. I want you to picture that you have a 2-year-old child, and that 2-year-old child, God forbid, is caught in a burning building. What would you do? You'd get him out, or you die trying. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. My question is, how are you going to get him out? You don't know that. You have no idea. So you go to the front door, but it's engulfed in flames. So what do? You run to the back door, and it's engulfed in flames too. So now you're thinking about, what do I do? And then you see a truck across the street. You know what? You hijack that truck, you drive it through the building, you save your kid. My point is, when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a business, you don't really know how it's going to happen. You know what you want to do, but you're not really sure how. The how will always evidence itself when you have a definite aim. Now, my morning routine very simply consists of a couple of components. Number one, I do affirmations. Affirmations are positive things that you say to yourself, and people who are watching the show probably know about or have learned about affirmations, but I want to tell you a little secret. You've probably been sold a bill of goods. You've probably been told that if you do affirmations, you'll have more new patients or more new clients, or you'll have a great girlfriend or a great boyfriend or a great whomever. That's crap, okay? Because affirmations don't bring those things into your life. All affirmations do is they work on your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind does not know the difference between a real or a vividly imagined experience. So if you've got a loop playing in your head, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I hope this day goes okay. I hope I get that client. Well, that's a negative loop, and we're magnets, baby. You're either vibrating positively or you're vibrating negatively. There's no in between. It's like pregnancy. You're not half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. So you're either vibrating at a high level and attracting people and things into your life, or you're vibrating at a low level and you're repelling people and things out of your life. Very simple law of attraction, like the law of gravity. So what I want to do is I want to feed my subconscious mind, since it doesn't know the difference between a real or a vividly imagined experience. I want to feed my subconscious mind positive stuff. And that's where affirmations come into play. So affirmations won't get you a new client or a new patient or a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend. Affirmations will make you vibrate at a more positive level, which will then cause you to attract. The next thing that I do in my morning routine is I do gratitude exercises. And I do gratitude exercises many times a day, because I got news for you. I don't care how bad your day is. Are you seeing this show right now? Well, thank God you got your eyesight. Are you hearing me right now? You may not like what you're hearing, but thank God you can hear it. So let me tell you something. You and I and everybody who's listening, we take most things for granted. Lose something and you get that. Well, gratitude gives you altitude. So I thank God every day, multiple times a day, for the things I got. You see, when you focus on what you have, not what you don't have, when you're vibrating at a positive level, you'll be amazed at what you attract into your life. The next piece of my morning routine is I read all the things that I need to become a better person. You see, growth is about creating a better version of yourself. Napoleon Hill does that great justice in Think and Grow Rich, and he does a great justice in the Law of Success. You have to become a better version of yourself. Think about it. If you want to be a public speaker and you're not confident, well, you need to master confidence, become a better version of yourself. If you're not a good public speaker, well, you need to manage that and conquer that mechanically, a better version of yourself. So I have a whole sheet on what I need to do to become a better version of myself, and that's what I work on. You see, where attention goes, energy flows. If you are privy to what it is that you want happen, to become a better version, to have a definite aim as to what you're looking to create, you will always go in that direction. And the last thing that I do in my morning routine is I go through my goals and I journal write. Now, I don't journal write pouring my heart out on a page, and I'm not knocking that. If you want to do that, that's fine. I just don't. My journal writing is very simply, I thank and acknowledge God, and if you don't resonate with God, that's not a problem. Put in whatever you want, spirit, wind, innate, don't care. Higher power. So I thank God and I acknowledge God. I then write down all the things that I'm grateful for. And then I write down specifically what I want to accomplish today and the action steps thereof. And I make sure that they're in alignment with my goals. It sounds like a lot of work. It takes me about 30 to 45 minutes a day. And people question me all the time, like, wow, that's a lot of time. Well, let me tell you something, man. If your mind is not right, I don't care how good your mechanics are. And I'll give you an example. Do I have time to do so? What do you want to?
Please.
So I want you to picture a batter in baseball, and he's facing the best curveball pitcher in the league. He gets up there, and pitcher throws that pitch, and it's strike one. Pitcher throws the pitch, it's strike two. Pitcher throws that pitch, boom, it's strike three. Well, the batter walks off the field dejected, frustrated, and aggravated. And 3 weeks later, he faces that same batter. What do you think his mindset is going to be like? Oh my God, him again? Oh man, this was a disaster last time. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3, he's out. He hits the bat against the ground and he walks off dejected. But this time his coach comes over, puts his arm around him and says, hey kid, you and I have a date. We're going to learn how to hit a curveball. And for the next 3 weeks, this kid works every day, curveball after curveball after curveball. And guess what? Every one goes out of the park. Well, now he faces that same pitcher again, the best curveball pitcher in the league. What do you think his mindset is now? It's not humming, oh my God, I can't believe I'm facing him. It's come on, mother, I'm ready for you. Pitch that baby in. Boom, strike one. He shakes it off. He's like, come on, give me your best. Is that your best? Boom, out of the park. You see, that's mindset. And what I want our listeners to understand is this. There are two parts to every execution. It's your psychology and it's your mechanics. You can have the best mechanics in the world, but if your psychology is saying to you, oh my God, it's that guy again that I have to face, the likelihood that your mechanics are going to carry you through, not very good. On the other hand, you can have the greatest psychology in the world. If your mechanics aren't great, it's not going to be good either. So you have to work on both of them together. Does that make sense, Brian?
Total sense. I am absolutely eating this up. And because of everything that was so amazing, and this is a good time for you to take that break because we're going to do some bomb dropping right here. That's right. Bombs of wisdom, knowledge bombs. My gosh. Look, I told everybody to take notes in the beginning. I'm doing so. That was amazing. I've heard the same thing. I've done this show now for over 3 years with successful people. And they, like you said, the majority of them do have a routine. And what I always tell folks is if they don't have a routine yet, simply model what you just heard Paul do. It doesn't mean that every piece of it will work for you. Modify it to make it work for you, but at least start one. And I was thinking as you were going through that, and then you said 30 to 45 minutes. I'm like, how the heck do you finish it that soon? Because that was a lot. I know I have an affirmation sheet that is 7 pages long, and it by itself takes over 20 minutes to get through. So
I want to tell everybody a little secret, though. If you're going to read your affirmations, I am a great father, I'm a great businessman, I could do anything, stick a fork in it, baby, you're done. Okay? It's the passion that drives the subconscious mind. It's the passion. I am a great business coach. I can do anything. Today's my day. That's what drives the subconscious mind. And you want to say your affirmations out loud and out proud. However, there's one caveat. If you're walking in the middle of Walmart and you get a negative thought in your head, don't scream your affirmations out loud and proud. People are going to look at you really funky. You can scream them in your head at that point. But all kidding aside, loud and proud is the best way of doing it. And my recipe is this. I do the morning and night and anytime I have negative self-talk. Now, there was a time in my life that the majority of my self-talk was negative. So I was doing my affirmations, 50,000 times a day. You can't OD on them. You're not going to get sick from too much of them. It's a really good thing to get, because what happens is they're cumulative. So you get a nanosecond worth of relief, and then 2, and then 3, and then a minute, and 4 minutes, and yada, yada, yada. So just do them, folks. Try it. 1 of 3 things will happen. 1, you'll love them. 2, you'll hate them. Or 3 will be somewhere in the middle. Try it. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you for bringing that up, making it more emotionally charged when you're doing it. Be passionate about it. And I always also mentally immerse myself into an environment as I'm reading them. Where is this happening in a positive environment, visually as well? Going back into my NLP training, it's emotion is the key. You just hit the nail on the head, and I appreciate you bringing that up specifically. Yeah. If you just sit there and read them, I am a wonderful real estate investor. No. That's your subconscious is going to tie that with actually a negative emotion. It's not going to be good. So yep. Fantastic. My goodness. That's our show. We're done. Good night. That was awesome. So you've been doing this for 19 years. And a lot of folks that are just starting out, they just want to get to that they want to get over that hurdle and make some money and just keep their head above water money wise. And the thing is, I've talked to a lot of people that are in this situation and say, it's a tough place to be in. Let's all acknowledge that. I've been there. And it's so easy to succumb to shortcuts, the bad kind, where you see this low-hanging fruit, this shiny object, you're going to make a bunch of money, and you may change and do things that are not part of your own value system to get there faster. And I just like to caution people to always do everything with the long term in mind. Because it just will end up better no matter what. And so for you, Paul, if you were to help somebody to encapsulate that, integrate that, what is it for you that helped you, maybe the best way for you to achieve long-term success and have those small victories in between? But for you, what was the key that you would tell somebody who needed that advice?
You got to go back to your purpose, mission, and vision statements. What is your purpose? My purpose is to help people achieve a higher potential. Okay? It's a bigger picture. My mission is I do it through various ways. When I was a chiropractor, I did it through my hands. When I was doing enzyme nutrition, I did it through changing people's physiology. Now that I am a business coach, I do it through my words, deeds, and executions. So the first thing is you have to have a clear vision of what you want. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you're doing anything for the money, don't. I know it sounds crazy, and I know that you have bills to pay, and I know that, it's a tough world out there. But I promise you that if you do things just for money, people will recognize that, and you will repel them out of your life. Now, understand something. I'm not a non-for-profit organization. I am profit-driven. I like making money, and there's nothing wrong with making money. I just don't do what I do with the idea of making money. Well, that sounds like an oxymoron. No, it isn't. I was not kidding when I say that I change and save lives. That's what I do. I help people achieve their dreams. Zig Ziglar said it best. When you help other people achieve their dreams, you automatically achieve yours. So when I work with a client, what I want to know is, what are their dreams? What are their goals? What is their agenda? As long as it's ethical and legal, I would be more than happy to help them to do that. Now, by helping them to do that, what do you think happens? They get happy. When clients get happy, what do you think happens? They refer others. It's not rocket science. So for people who are starting out or people who are stuck, I'll give you a couple of thoughts. Number one, Jeff Bezos said it best. Whatever you do in this world, own your own business. Just own your own freaking business. Let's talk about that, because not everybody has the ability to own their own business, and that's okay too. You have to know where you are on the totem pole. You have to know if you are an entrepreneur or if you want more of the security of a paycheck. And either one is okay, but you have to know where you are. So the way you learn where you are is, ask yourself, do I need security of a paycheck every week? If you do, nothing wrong with that. Go get a job. But the reason why I say that if you have the ability to own your own business, you want to do that is because Bezos really talked about it and said it best. This is the problem with the job market today. When you work for somebody, let's say you're making a $300,000 a year. I mean, that's a significant amount of money. You're making $300,000 a year. What do you think your boss is making? You're making that boss 600, a million, 3 million, whatever. You're working 80, 90 hours a week. And now what happens is in America is when you start to hit age 55 to 65, you start to age out. Now, there are several ways that you're going to age out. One, you will have the wherewithal and the means to go sit on a rocking chair and watch the sunset. But here's a little factoid. According to Forbes magazine, the average American does not have an extra $400 in their savings account. Let's analyze that for a second. Not a good statistic. That means if a hot water heater goes, a roof gets a leak, a tire blows out, that person is pretty much screwed. And they got to go out to Uncle Visa and Aunt MasterCard, and that's a problem, a big problem. So most people don't have the ability to retire and sit in the rocking chair watching the sunset. So what happens now? At age 55 to 65, they have to retool. Not an easy feat, okay? It gets more challenging when you're older. If you can't retool, what happens? You end up working in Walmart or McDonald's. And I'm not joking, and I'm not knocking those places, not by any stretch of the imagination. But when you go into those places and you see silver-haired people, you now know why they're there. They did not have the ability to retire, and they have to, keep bringing in cash. The other thing is when you retire today, it's not like when my grandfather retired. When my grandfather retired, he got a pension and he got a gold watch. Today, you don't get a pension, you don't get a gold watch, all you get is an attaboy or an attagirl. When you own your own business, what happens is you sell that business when you want to retire, and that is your pension. So if you have the ability to own your own business, own your own business. Period. End of story.
Great advice. Totally concur. And yeah, the fact of the matter is doing that is not for everybody, or there'd be a lot more of us out there, entrepreneurs. And there are reasons for that. And that's okay too. There's no shame of any kind in being an employee. But what Paul just said right there, that was gold for you, if that's in any way in your blood. And here's the thing. Maybe you think it's not, but it could be. One way to find out, and I kid you not, is to contact Dr. Paul Inselman. And what I want to do, that was a perfect segue, Paul. What I'd like to do is actually ask you more about what you do today. What is your business? Who is your target market? Who are you catering to? And what exactly do your services do for them? And then there's a third thing. If you have a success story or two, please, I would love to hear that as well, not just for myself, but for everyone watching and listening. If you wouldn't mind doing that, I would love it. So go ahead and take it away.
So what I do now is business development, and my ideal client, because I'm a chiropractor, it used to be chiropractors. And then I got kind of bored in the chiropractic space and I went to dentistry. And then I got bored and I went to physical therapy, still in the healthcare space. And then I made a really big leap and I went into plumbing. And I'll never forget the interview. The interview was, Paul, you're a chiropractor. What the hell do you know about plumbing? And I said, fair question. I said, let me ask you, what do you know about upsell, downsell, and cross-sell? What do you know about the conversion equation? And what do you know about market dominating position? And he said, nothing. I said, good. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. My job is to help you apply those principles to your business so you can achieve your goals, your dreams. So when I started with them, you asked for a success story, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. They had 10 trucks and they were doing 1.6 million in revenue. And last year they eclipsed 10 million revenue, and they have 65 trucks now. And that's what we do. We change lives. So now my ideal client is any business owner that needs more leads, that needs to convert more people, that needs a better P&L, profit and loss statement, by cutting expenses, that needs a better top line and bottom line of growth, and who needs better organization and better communications. So that really applies to anybody at this point. At this point in my career, I have 75 coaches on my team. So at this point in my career, I'm very picky and I'm very choosy who I coach personally. So a lot of times I'll refer them out to our team members, who are all great, by the way. I mean, no negative there. But ultimately, we help people achieve their dreams. Let me go back to that for a second. If you think about a bicycle wheel has spokes, and each spoke has to support that wheel. Well, if you were to draw a bicycle wheel and put on spokes, you would have a health spoke. You would have a personal relationship spoke. You would have your business spoke. You would have your money spoke. And you would have a spirituality spoke. And you can add any more spokes that you choose to. That's fine. What happens is when people come to me, it's usually because their money spoke or their business spoke has a problem. Well, I want you to understand that all those spokes have to be interrelated, and all those spokes have to work properly. Can you see, Brian, if you got sick, God forbid, how it could pervade into your money? And if your money spoke got damaged, it could pervade into your marriage, and so on and so forth. So what I do, and that's called the wheel of life, folks. So what I do with my clients is I go through that wheel of life with them, and I go ahead and I help them to achieve that. Brian, can you put that last graphic back up of the website?
Absolutely.
I know you wanted me to talk about it, and I did not. This is my website, 911profit.com. And there are a lot of great and free resources there that I highly recommend, take a look at. I have a blog that I post every day, and they're little tidbits on life, little tidbits on business, little tidbits about everything to make you more successful. So I hope that's a good resource for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And also, a little birdie told me that you have a resource for those who might be looking into going down this path of becoming a business coach. Would it be okay to share that with the folks as well?
Yeah, we are always looking for great people to join our team. Let me tell you my definition of great people. I'm looking for entrepreneurs who are self-starters, who are trainable. Let me say that again, who are trainable. Let me say that just one more time, who are trainable. This ain't American Idol. Don't do it your way. I've got a track record of 25 years in 25 countries that have done this successfully. So we want you to utilize what it is that we teach you. And then once you have that mastered, go ahead and make it your own. That's fine. There's on the screen, you can click that short link or write it down, and that will take you to a webinar that you can check out that explains this opportunity in full. If this is the right opportunity for you, I can tell you with 100% certainty, your life is never going to be the same. I'm not looking to sell you on anything. I'm just saying that if you are looking for a career change and you've got what it takes to join our team, it's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, and for those of you that cannot see the screen, if you're listening to this on podcast, that URL is ryp.im/become a coach, all together, no spaces. So it's ryp.im/become a coach. That's not an affiliate link or anything. It's just a shortened link to get you to his webinar to enroll and register. And I just wanted a quick personal note is I have a personal friend named Linda Bachman, and Paul reached out on LinkedIn, I think it was, or I reached out to you. I don't remember what happened, which direction happened first, but you brought this up about coaching. Would I be open for coaching, or your assistant did it, whoever put in the message. I thought, I know somebody who is in the coaching space that might be able to take advantage of what you have, and connected the two of you. And she has just raved about you, Paul. I wanted to let you know that she loves working with you. She loves your system, the training and everything about it. So I just wanted everyone listening to know that he's not just saying I've got all these years and all these success stories in all these countries. It's actually because it's real. And I know of at least one person who can attest that it is real. So I just want to throw that in there to give it the more of the human touch, if you will.
She is a super lady, super coach, really, really good.
She is, and talk about a go-getter. My gosh. I mean, I have been on the phone with her so many times, and it's phone more than Zoom. And we'll be talking, and as we're talking, she's shooting me emails, and I don't know how she's doing it because she's just getting things done. But that's another thing I'm sure that you help with as far as productivity, getting things done quick. And I'm just listening to you in awe of your prowess, of your experience, of your success. And I don't mean that by financial success, which is inclusive of that, but of all the people you've helped. And that's where, and there you are nodding, because that's what drives us, isn't it? Is the people we get to help. Not the money comes, like you said so eloquently in the beginning, where, yeah, look, it's not money centric. Thank you for that advice, by the way. There are so many that do that. I have been hit so many times, Paul, with real estate type things, and I've never been attracted to it. And the number one reason why is I could not see how me selling a house was going to help any other individual other than me pocket money. And I was not money centric until recently. A gentleman came across our path who was an investor, and it helps a lot of people. I thought, now I'm open to it, but I wasn't before. Same kind of thing. And so I appreciate that, because I can really resonate with it. And what you said is so on point. So I'm curious. I like to find out more. You don't have to get too personal about this. We already know about your morning routine. And so you spend 20 to 35 minutes or so. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, my night routine. I don't think you want to hear about that.
Yeah, 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, don't get too personal. But for those up there that might be curious, because you're extremely, I hate the word busy, but you're constantly active, producing great things and helping people. But what is a day in the life of Dr. Paul Inselman like? You get up, you go through your 30 to 45 minute routine, then what?
I get up and I watch the sunrise. I live on a lake, and I face east. And every morning I watch the sunrise, and I say, thank you, God, for letting me be here. And my wife opens her eyes and she says, are you going to say this every day? And then we both nod at the same time. And I said, yeah, till the day I die. Then she goes back to sleep. And then I start my day. So after I do my affirmations and my morning routine, I go and I answer my emails first. It is crazy to me, because I have clients all over the world. So it's crazy to me that I don't sleep much. I go to sleep between 12 and 1 o'clock, and my eyes open automatically between 4:30 and 6. So it amazes me how many emails I get in 4 to 5.5 hours. It's like, seriously? So then what I do is I prepare my day. I look over my client list, and I go back over my notes from the last time I spoke with them. And then I'm typically on the phone from 7:30, typically 7:30 till usually around 9 p.m. That's by choice. I work 2.5 days a week, so I pack them in all day, and then I'm free the rest of the week. What I do during that time is I listen to my clients, figure out where their problems are, and I help them solve their problems and go through the agenda and the curriculum that we've created. When my day ends, I have a new grandson of about, he was born June 29th, so he's, 3 months old now. So I like to go see him, and I like to go hang out with him. And I'm looking forward to, as he grows, to be doing more stuff with him. I'm fortunate. My girls who are grown, they live close. We're big big into family. So we're always going out to dinner, or they're coming over and hanging out in the pool or whatever. And, I just look to help really anywhere and anyone. We just had a tragedy on our block. I mean, it just kills me. 23-year-old neighbor turned 23 on Friday, and he passed away on Saturday. But wait, there's more. It gets even better, more horrific. This 23-year-old boy, it lives directly across the street from a 14-year-old neighbor who got shot and killed 3 years ago in the Parkland shooting. And it's like, geez, man, it's just, so we just brought food over to them tonight. Funeral will be on Saturday, and it's just a shit show. It's just so sad. But my point is that, people know that they can always come to me for anything. If it's ethical and legal, come to me. I'm more than happy to help. And that's really what my day is, day in and day out. I as far as I exercise, I like to walk, I like to ride my bike. Again, very spiritual. I take a lot of time to thank God. And I just look to give back, at this stage. I just look to give back. It's not really an exciting thing. I'm not going skydiving and stuff, but it's very fulfilling for me. I've been married we celebrated 36 years this year, together 43. I'm so blessed. She's got absolutely a first-rate seat into heaven, because I wouldn't stay married to me for 36 seconds. So God bless Mary. But it's good. I truly have been blessed.
Wow. Congratulations on the grandson. Congratulations on the marriage longevity. I can relate to that one. I'm right behind you on that one as far as years. I think we're at 33.
You're an old fart like me, huh?
I am. And, and that last word, I do a lot more of that uncontrollably too. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm 58. I just turned 58 last month. And yeah, we've been married since we were high school sweethearts. My wife and I dated exclusively, stayed together through college, and then married when as soon as I landed my first job. And had the two wonderful kids, and wouldn't have it any other way. Blessed beyond belief. And so I can feel it through you. It's a similar path we've taken in that regard for sure. And there's nothing like having a wonderful family. It just isn't. And that's why I'm going to guess that's why you do what you do, Paul, is primarily for your family, also for your clients for sure. But would you say your family is more of your why you do what you do? Is it maybe just your wife, and that's because the family starts from her? Or what would you claim your why, your reason for driving and pushing those 2.5 days a week at exceedingly long hours, each of those 2.5 days? What is your why?
Well, it goes back to my purpose, which is to help elevate people to their highest potential. That's it. So if they're ill, I'm going to look to help them and elevate them. Here, I just got a new client whose health is terrible. He came to me business coaching. His health is terrible. That's what we're working on now, is health first, because he can't run a business if his health is terrible. So that's my why I get up to it, just to help people. And, the rest takes care of itself. The other why is, I had, so you just turned 57, you said, or 58?
58, yeah.
So I turned 60 in January, and I got to spend my 60th birthday in the hospital with COVID. It was not pretty. We didn't know what was going to happen. And thank God I'm here to talk. And so this year has taken a big turn in terms of, the more important things in life. What are the more important things in life? They're the same important things always. Always about family, always about helping people, always about putting others ahead of yourself. And let me tell you, if you do those things, and it's so simplistic, the rest all follows.
Man. I would normally drop bombs, but that doesn't seem appropriate at this point. That's just amazing wisdom that you're bringing in, and appreciate you in so many different ways. Just number one, for coming on, spending your time with us here tonight, for sure. I don't take those commitments lightly. I know what it means to spend your time away from your family or what you love to do. If this is one of those 2.5 days you're taking away from your job, your work, and I just appreciate you for being here. And we're getting close to the end. So here's the thing. We have a couple gifts to give away. Plus, I end every show with a very profound and powerful question, Paul. And I did it for a while, kind of randomly on one show here, one show there, and then started putting the pieces together going, wow, that's a pretty powerful question. And I love it because it can be a little bit personal, but it's not like digging into your knickers of personal life or anything like that.
Am I allowed to opt out here?
Yeah, I'll let you off the hook here in just a moment. But before I do that, before people drop, I want to give them access to the prizes, or my prize and your gift. Let's put it that way. And so real quick, I'm going to put this up on the screen. This is what I promise. I keep my promises. And that is, for those of you watching us live, write this URL down. You don't have to go to it this second. We will be monitoring this well after the show is over, an hour or two. So go ahead, write this down, ryp.im/vacation, ryp.im/vacation. And as soon as we sign off for the evening, then you can go to that URL and enter your information to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments again of the Big Insider Secrets. My dear buddy Jason Nast has made that all possible. Now let's bring Mr. Dr. Inselman back on the screen, or Dr. Paul. I see that you like to be called on there on the website. Yeah, and so you have a wonderful, amazing gift. I wanted to pull that up, and maybe you can give folks a little glimpse into what that is all about. There it is.
So that is the latest book that I've written, Business Strategies for Business Owners Who Have Limited Time. I'm also going to sweeten the pot. If you could bring to me your biggest business challenge, your biggest life challenge, email me. I'll be more than happy to schedule an appointment with you and give you a plan of action. No charge, free of charge. Happy to do it for listeners of this show. And that's a give back and a thank you for having me on the show.
Wow, that's a big give back. I hope people take this, don't take this for granted, and take it at great value, because that's his time he's talking about, that he's going to actually personally look at that and give you a personalized response. So the email is Dr. Inselman at 911profit.com. I'm going to spell that out now. It's DRINSELMAN at the numbers 911 and then profit.com. That's Dr. Inselman at 911profit.com. And then in the subject line, put in mind, body, business. And then he'll send you a PDF version of his book. And you can ask him what your biggest challenge in business is right now, and he'll respond to you. I appreciate that big time on behalf of my audience. Thank you, kind sir. That is wonderful.
My
amazing.
pleasure.
All right. The gift giving and prize awarding is about over. Well, the prize awarding isn't, but the prize announcement is. And guess what that means? It's time for that wonderful, amazing question. Yes. So here's the thing, Paul, in all seriousness, there is no such thing as a wrong answer to this question. It doesn't exist. It's impossible. And what I like to say is the opposite, is the only correct answer is yours. It's unique to you, and that's the only thing that makes it personal. Some have the answer like bang. Others take a few moments to ponder. Even that, there's nothing you could do incorrectly, because it's your answer. So there is no pressure of any kind, although you're thinking, what the heck is this question's going to be? So with all of that, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Dr. Paul Inselman, how do you define success?
Great question. Very easy answer. Success is an inward happiness. Success is fulfilling your dreams, your desires. Success is whatever it is to you. And that's why I stated earlier that when you help other people achieve their dreams, you automatically achieve yours, because their idea of success may be different than yours. I also stated that as long as it's ethical and legal, I'm more than happy to do so. And I'll actually give you an example. I was coaching a chiropractor, a new mom, and she did not want to work the hours that were needed to run a successful clinic. And I said to her, hey, no problem. My job is to tell you the impact of your decision, and then you can do whatever you want to do. The optimum hours are 4 evenings and 4 mornings. And if you have less than that or fewer than that, it's going to be difficult to run a very successful practice. I'm not going to bore you with the whys and wherefores. Just take it as that for now. She only wanted to work 2 nights a week. And what I did was I did a spreadsheet for her and showed her what she would be losing in revenue. And she said, hey, no problem. I get it. Thank you. And she chose to work two nights a week. At the end of the year, when we did our tally, she was not happy at that point, but the loss in revenue was spot on, right where I told her it was going to be. And then the next year, she decided that she wanted to work the extra 2 hours because it was too much of a hit for her. She didn't want to do that. But my point to that story is this. Her idea of success and her goal was different than mine. In my idea, I would have worked the 4 evenings. In her idea, she wanted to be with her baby, and that's perfectly okay. So you said there were no right and there were no wrong answers. So that's my answer, Brian. I'm going to stick to that one too.
Oh, there's definitely a right answer, and it's yours. That was absolutely correct. There's no disputing that or this. That is amazing, as are you, my friend. Oh, my goodness. This has been a really enjoyable time for me personally, and I know it is for everyone who's watched live and those that are going to listen and watch after the fact. I appreciate you, my brother, and everything about you. You were a incredibly pleasant surprise. I had no idea what to expect. We had never met before we came on the first 30 minutes. I'm so glad we have, and I hope we keep this relationship going beyond just this show today. And appreciate you for helping out my friend Linda and all the others that you're serving and helping, and doing it with such a great attitude, with the gratitude, with God-centered, all of it rolled into one. You're an amazing man, and I appreciate just having this moment with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show, and I hope the audience has pulled a nugget, 2 or 3.
Man, if they haven't, I have. I have two pages of notes to show for it. So thanks again. That is our show, everyone. Whew, it was a great one because of this man, not because of me. All right. On behalf of the amazing Dr. Paul Inselman, I am Brian Kelly, your host of the Mind Body Business Show. Hey, everyone, have a great weekend coming up. And also, please go out there and continue to crush it by serving others and helping them to be the best person they can be, and whatever that is for them. Ask them, just like Paul said, ask them what their dreams are, and then go out there and help fulfill them for them. That's it for tonight. So long, everyone. Be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.